I just thought the whole thing yesterday was just theater, and it's just all for political, gain. There's nothing to this. This is, like I said before, this is just a colossal waste of taxpayers' time and money. There's nothing that's going to come from this. 44 senators already voted that, to say that it's unconstitutional. They shouldn't even be doing it. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is supposed to be presiding over it, and he thinks it's unconstitutional and doesn't want to be a part of it. So it's all theater. It's just all Hollywood, and I just think it's disgusting the way they're pursuing this. We just need to get past this, get on with, taking care of what we need to be doing in this country. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, a lot of important things we need to be working on. This is not one of them.
As so happens so often in Washington, the American people just tune out. I think the majority of Americans are just like, enough. I mean, this is yesterday. That was so dramatic, and the congressman had a sad story to tell. But I just thought that millions of Americans have a sad story to tell right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're going to celebrate a year of that pandemic in the not so distant future. What did you think of? Were you able to go into the chamber yesterday? Are they allowing members of Congress into the Senate chamber?
I didn't actually. I'm in my district. I'm back in Texas right now, so I did not go into the chamber yesterday.
Okay, so
but they're allowing us into the chamber if we go through the mags and all the security that they've set up, which is also ridiculous.
Right.
And just trying to make a statement. Yeah,
I understand that Nancy Pelosi has bypassed some of her own security protocols there, but that's another interview for another day. What did you think of watching the president's defense team with their presentation yesterday?
I didn't see all of it, but I saw some of the clips of it this morning. I thought he could have been much better served. I didn't think they did a great job, to be honest with you. I think he expected better, and I think he should have got better from his side. But it's a shame they're there in the first place. I feel like he shouldn't even have to be defending himself on this, anyways. But I feel like he could have been better served, and I'm sure he probably feels the same way. But I didn't see all of it. I just saw some of the clips because, quite honestly, I didn't watch all of what was going on yesterday because it was such a sham. I didn't want to sit there and waste my time watching it all day.
It was also lengthy. We're hearing that the president was not happy with his team, but that vote did go forward. It proceeded with 56 to 44, 6 Republicans joining forces with Democrats. Congressman, do you think this is going to hurt them moving forward?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They will end up being injured by this, in my opinion, because, you just can't forget that 74 million people voted for President Trump. There's a large part of our population here in the United States that still believes in his agenda and his Make America Great, Keep America Great agenda. That's not going away. He's still going to be very influential in our party. He's going to be a big part of our party moving forward, whether they like it or not. And there will be people among their constituents that aren't happy with what happened.
This is a sham that's all about 2024. They don't want Donald Trump, including Mitch McConnell, by the way. You'd know more about that than me, but it just seems like he does not want to have Donald Trump on the ballot 4 years from now. And that's what this is all about.
It's crazy. They're scared to death of him. I mean, he's not even president anymore, and he still terrifies the left.
Yeah, you made a great point. I'm sorry, you made a great point about John Roberts. The Chief Justice said, I'm not presiding over this. It's not, that should tell the American people something right there. And I think the truth's on the president's side. I do want to talk about what happened on Sunday. We lost a great American, a member of Congress in Texas, passed away on Sunday from the coronavirus, Ron Wright. I know that you knew Congressman Wright. Your thoughts on where we are right now with the coronavirus and the WHO saying it might not have come from China yesterday.
Right. I still think we have to take this serious, and Congressman Wright, a fantastic congressman, a great loss to our country, but he had a lot of underlying medical issues. He didn't, he was one of those vulnerable folks that ultimately end up succumbing from coronavirus. And so we still have to be careful with that population. We got to get back to work and school and things of that nature. But the fact that the World Health Organization is in charge of investigating this now, what a joke. What an absolute joke. And they've already said that they don't think they're going to investigate anymore in China because they don't think China had anything to do with it. They're still pushing out the narrative that, I don't know, something like only 100,000 people, in China have had coronavirus and some ridiculously low number have died from it. It's just they are a propaganda tool for the Chinese government. And I can't believe that President Biden put them back in charge of overseeing what's going on the world stage. It's just going to be a big cover up.
And, we've been waiting for that task force and those results to come out of the WHO. But when they went to Wuhan, China, they're now saying it didn't happen in a lab, but actually came from an animal. So that's confusing people as well. Of course, a lot different from most people's perception of the origin of this virus. But let's switch, Congressman, to immigration. With immigration in focus and a bit with coronavirus, President Biden essentially unraveling President Trump's border initiatives, now alleged the new policy is responsible for releasing thousands of illegal immigrants into the U.S. without testing them them for coronavirus. This is something we were just talking about with a sheriff in Texas, very close to that border there, saying that they're coming in without being tested. How is that even happening when we as Americans can't travel without showing proof of negative COVID results?
Yeah, I mean, this is so inconsistent with the narrative that the Biden administration has been putting out there. I mean, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth here. They're telling us that we need to wear double masks, that we're going to be screened before we can get on domestic flights potentially now and have to show proof of a test and everything. Yet they're going to release thousands of people that they already have here detained in the United States. They're going to release them into the population without testing them. And then they're going to simultaneously put back the Obama-era immigration policies that are already encouraging thousands and thousands of people to migrate up to our border in large groups. A large portion of those people will have coronavirus, among other issues, and they're going to come out and they're going to be released into our community. So all we're doing is dragging this out, and we're prolonging our efforts to get past this, and it'll be longer before we get back to work and we get back to school and all this because of his immigration policy. It's not going to be good for this country. It is not America first. It's an America last policy, and I wish he would step up to the plate and look at what we as people, of citizens of this country, need, and not cater to people here that are illegally or they're going to be here illegally.
Yeah, it's not about racism. That term got thrown around over the past couple of days. It's about keeping Americans safe, especially Americans that are right along the border there who are going to be immediately impacted. And by the way, some of these people have criminal records as well, and they're just, we're putting them up in hotels while they wait for a hearing that might never come because the hearings have been the schedule is totally backlogged because of the coronavirus. And Congressman, this might have more to do with this effort by the left to turn Texas blue in 2024 and beyond.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're bringing these people over here. They're bringing them in. They're releasing them into states. If you look at where they're going, like I was on the border a few years back, and like 90-something% of them are being settled east of the Mississippi River. When you looked at the roster where they were going to Alabama and Georgia, Florida, Texas. Some were going to New York and New Jersey, but the vast majority of them were going to red states. And that's a big part of what's going on here. Bring them in, populate the red states with them, and then get them the right to vote down the road as soon as possible so that they can become Democrats and they can control the party and they can turn these red states blue.
They can never have a Republican president again.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.